The 1935 Citroën TUB and its military counterpart TUC were among the most revolutionary light commercial vehicles of the pre-war era, representing a complete break from traditional truck construction and introducing ideas that would shape van design for decades. Created in France during a period of rapid urbanization and expanding small-scale commerce, the TUB was designed not as a modified passenger car or a shortened truck, but as a purpose-built delivery vehicle optimized for dense city streets, frequent stops, and efficient cargo handling. Its styling followed early functional modernism with clear industrial influences, prioritizing usability and efficiency over ornamentation, yet still carrying the unmistakable Citroën design identity of the 1930s. At the heart of the Citroën TUB was a front-mounted inline four-cylinder gasoline engine derived directly from the traction Avant passenger car. The engine displaced 1,628 cubic centimeters, equivalent to 99 cubic inches, and produced approximately 35 horsepower, or about 26 kilowatts. While modest in outright output, this engine was tuned for low-speed drivability and reliability rather than performance, making it well-suited to stop-and-go delivery work. Torque figures were not officially published, but period road tests and operational feedback indicate a strong low-end pull, allowing the van to move heavy loads without excessive clutch slipping or high engine speeds. Power was delivered to the front wheels through a 3-speed manual transmission, a configuration that was highly unconventional for commercial vehicles of the mid-1930s. Front-wheel drive eliminated the need for a driveshaft tunnel, allowing the cargo floor to be placed significantly lower than in rear-wheel drive vans. This resulted in a loading height of roughly 350 millimeters, about 14 inches, which dramatically reduced driver fatigue and loading time during daily delivery routes. The gearbox ratios were deliberately chosen to favor torque multiplication and smooth starts rather than top speed, with the vehicle achieving a maximum speed of approximately 50 miles per hour or about 80 kilometers per hour under ideal conditions. Fuel consumption varied depending on load and driving conditions, but typically ranged between 18 and 22 miles per gallon, equivalent to approximately 13 to 10.7 liters per 100 kilometers. For a fully enclosed delivery van of this size and era, these figures were considered efficient, especially given the vehicle's boxy profile and constant urban operation. The fuel tank capacity was around 45 liters, roughly 12 gallons, providing sufficient range for a full working day without refueling. The chassis of the TUB was based on a unibody construction rather than a separate ladder frame, another radical choice for a commercial vehicle in the 1930s. This monocoque structure reduced overall weight while increasing rigidity, contributing to better handling and improved ride quality. The suspension used independent torsion bars at the front, inherited from the traction Avant, while the rear employed a rigid axle with longitudinal leaf springs designed to handle varying payloads without excessive sagging. This combination allowed the TUB to remain stable and predictable even when fully loaded. Braking was handled by mechanically actuated drum brakes on all four wheels, a standard system for the period. While lacking the stopping power of later hydraulic systems, the low center of gravity and front-wheel drive layout helped maintain directional stability under braking, especially on wet or uneven cobblestone streets common in European cities at the time. Steering was light and precise compared to conventional trucks, making the vehicle easy to maneuver in narrow alleys and crowded marketplaces. In terms of dimensions, the Citroën TUB measured approximately 168 inches in overall length, equal to about 4,270 millimeters, with a width of around 70 inches, or 1,780 millimeters, and a height close to 90 inches, roughly 2,290 millimeters. The wheelbase measured about 103 inches, or 2,620 millimeters. Curb weight was approximately 3,000 pounds, or about 1,360 kilograms, while the payload capacity was rated at roughly 2,200 pounds, equivalent to 1,000 kilograms. This balance between compact exterior dimensions and generous cargo volume was one of the vehicle's greatest strengths. One of the most distinctive features of the TUB was its body design. The driver's seat was positioned above and slightly behind the front axle, while the engine sat low and forward, partially under the cab. This cab-forward layout maximized interior cargo length without increasing the overall footprint of the vehicle. The cargo area featured flat vertical walls and a nearly rectangular floor plan, allowing efficient use of space. Access was provided through rear double doors and, most famously, a sliding side door on the passenger side. This sliding door was an industry first for a mass-produced van and allowed safe unloading directly onto sidewalks without swinging doors into traffic. The interior was strictly utilitarian. The driver's compartment was separated from the cargo area with minimal insulation and basic instrumentation. Comfort was secondary to function, yet the driving position offered good visibility thanks to the short nose and large windshield. This visibility, combined with the low floor and front-wheel drive traction, made the TUB exceptionally easy to drive, even for operators with limited experience. In 1936, the French military recognized the practical advantages of the TUB and adopted a modified version known as the TUC. This variant retained the same basic mechanical layout but featured simplified interior fittings, reinforced components, and finishes suitable for military logistics. The TUC was used primarily as a light transport and radio van, benefiting from its low loading height and compact size, which allowed it to operate close to the front lines and in confined depots. While not intended for combat, its ability to move supplies efficiently made it valuable during the late 1930s and early stages of the Second World War. Production of the Citroën TUB began in 1935 and continued until 1941, when wartime conditions and material shortages brought civilian vehicle manufacturing to a halt. Total production numbers remained relatively limited, estimated at a few thousand units, which contributes to the vehicle's rarity today. Despite this, its influence far exceeded its production volume. The concepts pioneered by the TUB, front-wheel drive, low floor, sliding side door, and unibody construction, became defining characteristics of modern delivery vans. The legacy of the TUB is perhaps best seen in its direct successor, the Citroën Type H, introduced after the war. The Type H carried forward the same fundamental layout but on a larger scale, becoming one of the most iconic commercial vehicles in European history. Without the experimental groundwork laid by the TUB, such a vehicle would likely not have been possible. Today, the 1935 Citroën TUB and TUC are regarded as milestones in automotive engineering, representing a moment when functional design, mechanical innovation, and practical necessity converged in a single vehicle. They were not flashy, fast, or luxurious, but they quietly redefined what a delivery vehicle could be. In an era dominated by conservative engineering, the TUB stood out as a bold, forward-thinking solution to real-world problems, proving that true innovation often begins not on racetracks or in showrooms, but on the everyday streets where work needs to get done. If you appreciate rare vehicles that changed history not through power or speed, but through smart engineering and daring ideas, make sure to subscribe and stay with the channel, because many more forgotten machines like this are still ahead.